All right, welcome to another Asia Charts and Chill. We're going to do our high time frame analysis, and we'll start as we normally do with our 12 monthly here. Just on that NQ1 chart. So for our 12 monthly, we have our bullish order block here. And price came down nicely, respected 50% of this, and continued up. As we step down, we go into the 6 monthly. We have our inverted SIBI here. Just as we do on the lower time frames, this was our manipulation swing here. And we look for PD arrays within that swing for price to come back to. Which we can see tested this nicely here. Jump down to our 3 monthly, and we had our order block here. 3 monthly order block. Also had CE of that, 50% of that order block respected nicely. And then monthly. For the new people in here too, you're welcome just to put any questions into the chat as we move along. As we move into the monthly, and we have this whole order block here. And this is what was responsible for taking the high. So price likes to come back and then mitigate the order block here. And so this was a manipulation swing, and then orders get trapped in here, and then price gets forced down, and then mitigates the trapped shorts, and then pushes off with strength, which is what we've seen here. Looks like we've just had Jess jump in. Hey Jess, how you going? Good. So on the monthly, one of the things we've talked about in the last few videos as well was this candle here that we had from April. So this is a swing failure pattern candle. So price swept the lows here, comes back in, takes out all the liquidity along here, and then closes back in the range of this candle. And then we expect price to go to the top of that candle. That becomes our doll, our draw on liquidity. And we can look for retracements, normally back into that wick, but we didn't get that for this one. It was too bullish and continued up. We also have on the monthly now that BPR. And to watch if we get a retracement, hard retracement at some stage. Moving on to the weekly. So we had our weekly change in state of delivery here. This is good. I'm getting used to using this draw tool now well, Jess.
Yeah, I see. Looking great.
Bit faster. Our highs here, which we've now taken. And then we've got this candle here back from December that we were watching for the flip. Which price is respecting nicely there for continuation up. Down to our daily, we have our main manipulation zone down here that we've been watching when we broke structure. So we can draw our daily standard deviations from here. So from the high that made the low, that's where we pull our standard deviations from, and then we're watching SD 1.5 as the next main level there on the daily. Getting close to 1 now. Keen to see how much expansion we get today if we do expand. And so one of the other things we've been talking about previous weeks as well was this whole accumulation range. So we come in, we have accumulation to manipulation, and we're looking for that expansion leg now. Hey GRCT, welcome.
Yeah, coupled with time of year as well, we accumulated through the early part of the year, first couple of months, and then made that low in the third and fourth month. So right about the time or quarter that you would see.
Open low,
Yep,
high close.
yearly PO3.
So great structure to watch for, especially on the lower time frame, which we'll run over as well as we go down in the time frames. So those accumulation range into manipulation, trying to catch expansion, just as we do for the 930 moves on a 5-minute chart here. And we look to get long after those breaks or even after this bullish expansion leg. It's a good example from the New York AM session that we just had. All right, I'll just remove these drawings and then we'll drop down to the 1 hour. Did you get many trades in this week, Jess?
Actually, no. I wanted to take a trade this morning when I actually messaged you in the chat, but I didn't like the way that 4-hour candle closed. I think right around, what time was it even? Let me check. Oh, sorry, we swept London high. Once we swept London high,
Yeah.
it just wasn't expanding after that. I was like, I don't think this is it. And I went
Yeah.
to sleep.
That's when I protected my positions as well. I'm like, oh, I don't like that rejection.
Yeah, I didn't like it. So I actually have not been able to trade this week. Yeah, no, all I traded was evals. No funded account trades,
Yeah.
fortunately.
So on our 1 hour chart here, so we've had our, so we had the breakout here with the SBS. We break the high, come back. So 1, 2, 3, and then we come back and we swept to here for continuation. And this was our, so Tuesday low of the week. So as this was playing out, so on Tuesday, I'd messaged the group and I said that we're watching this SIBI here. So we've got this 1 hour SIBI. And we either wanted that to reject here at the CE and continue down. And then that would concrete Monday high of the week. Alternatively, if it gets flipped, then we look for that retest, which is what we've just had, into New York AM, and then continuation up. And normally you'll see like lows like this, and you get a BPR in here, but this ended up being a sort of wiki through here, but it's still an inverted SIBI. So this was our key for the week. Here, so other good examples, we get the lows in here, we invert it, we continue up. Another one here, this is a really good example with the BPR, back from the start of the month. So we come down, we have to watch that 1 hour SIBI, we come back, flip, expand up.
Yeah, and notice in most of these examples as well, there's also a BISI being printed on the other side most of the time when we're trading above a BPR. So when we're going to confirm that BPR, we normally leave behind gaps as well. And this is a key signature that I look for, like that, first that BPR or that SIBI is being created running into a low. And then after that low is ran, we get that fair value gap or that BISI being.
So like in this example, we had this one here, doesn't get tested. This one creates the BPR, so where we have fair value gaps on both sides.
Yep,
And
exactly. This is a key signature, guys. If you guys just look for this, this is one of the ways that I look for turns in the market personally.
And then nice test over here. This is what we're talking about in this week as well, where we have that Wednesday into expansion and then the Monday comes back to retest. And that was the low of the week. Excuse me. For this one.
Yeah, and this is, and on an hourly basis, that I think it's, I would argue pretty often that is signature that happens low of the week. And we have that hourly BPR.
Makes it good too when you get it at the start of the week, and then to be marking it out, and not to get super bearish once we've had that first SIBI to move down.
Yeah.
We know we want to watch the CE, and we want to watch if we get that flip.
Another key thing too is that these like large body candles like that SIBI that was created there, when the way you can kind of think of it is like if we're going to trade above that is when that's going to be confirmed as a order block once we close that high. So when we close that high, or when price gets above that high, you know, you now have bullish order flow. And normally what will happen is like a slow grind up until that high. With this sort of similar price action where we slowly grind up, we run sell stops, and then trade with speed back above that high or into the high that order block. And this is how you can kind of anticipate order blocks before they form, because orders will usually accumulate inside of a future order block. So like this slow grind here is also very characteristic of like orders accumulating in, you know, an order block, right? That's what would happen inside of those PD arrays. And then once you trade above it, you have that confirmation, and again you just follow the same logic of respecting the CE of the block itself, of the SIBI or the gaps that were created within that block. But yeah, that gap, that BPR coupled with that large body candle, that is just really clean signature.
Nice small one here from Wednesday. So we come back. Respect CE of the SIBI. Continues on in the PM expansion. Can you guys see the screen okay? Is that working? Your Maya's having trouble? Can't see.
Can you exit and come back? Or, yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, you restarted multiple times.
I think people were having trouble with JD's stream, in the New York AIM as well, from certain devices, whereas the web browser was working okay.
Maybe it's a Discord bug. Right?
Discord issue, yeah.
Well, you're recording, right, Adrian?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Yeah, so he always records. I mean, I guess you can go back and watch the recording. You're like, sorry to single you out, but.
So on the 1 hour, so we've now had, so originally we had our Monday high of the week. And we're creating that sort of market maker sell model on the way down. We come back, we test the 1 hour order block here. Come back up, and then we get that big sell off. And then coming into Tuesday, that's when we're trying to plan out to see if that remains the high of the week. Otherwise, we were watching that SIBI for a reversal and for a Tuesday low of the week. Now that we're up here, so we come back up, testing the high at the moment, and then we've had our manipulation down in the AM for plausible continuation up. So once we break out, if we do break out today, then we're watching the order blocks from the high to then get flipped as well for continuation up. And I'm not quite sure how high it'll go because this manipulation leg is so large, but we can map out that SD1 and SD1.5 on the 1 hour. And then we've got 5 minute leg to measure from this manipulation here for plausible expansion today as well.
Yeah, with today's being the red folder news driver, I was expecting today to be a continuation, but it ended up just being a large retracement. But we can obviously see this higher time frame swing now forming from this 1 hour BPR. So this should solidify a Friday continuation tomorrow.
And this is not how a week finishes with all of this liquidity up here.
Just, yeah, nasty.
Friday high of the week for sure. All right. Did you guys have any questions on the 1 hour chart? So for those that are new, we draw out our true day open levels here vertically and our TDO horizontally. And for each day, when we're bullish, we're looking for manipulation below true day open, normally into New York AM or London Q3. I prefer the London ones, so I don't have to stay up super late. And same thing here. So we open, and if we're pitching this as a daily candle, open low, and then we want the high close. Open, low, manipulation, high, close. And all we're trying to do is get in on that manipulation swing and ride the expansion of the days. So opposite here, so we had open, high manipulation, low, close. And just as we're doing here on the 1 hour, so the 1 hour paired with the daily, we do with the 5 minute paired with the 4 hour. Just put our PO3 on too, and we'll set this to the weekly. This is our current weekly candle now. And then our low was down here for our manipulation. So just like these lows on the daily, this is creating the daily wick. Creating the daily wick. This is creating the weekly wick. All right, let's drop down time frame again. I'll just change charts.
Yeah, so keeping in mind this PO3 while he's doing that, this is why the open prices are such important prices to have on your charts. Like the weekly open, which is, the end walk, higher low usually. But if you just pay attention to your hourly, 4-hour, daily opens and use these levels, even for like your weekly narrative, if you're trading below the weekly open for that day, you're likely bearish. If you're trading above that, you're likely bullish. And these are very simple processes you can add to building your narrative and making your bias that day mechanical, or for that hour mechanical. Just keeping in mind the PO3.
Especially when you see the sell-offs like this, or like this. So people that aren't looking for the PO3 or for the daily manipulation, they're looking for shorts here. Or they're looking for shorts after the CB. And then they get, yeah. They're like, oh, ICT said we got to short the CB.
And this is what I would say is like true pattern trading, where you're just seeing the sell-off, or you're seeing the market structure shift, and you're not necessarily paying attention to the overall narrative of like PO3, the weekly, daily opens, things like that, or just the overall bullish narrative of the market, us being at all-time highs, right? Like, they just see the shift, they take it. Nothing else is being considered.
Yeah, a big mistake. This is why we want to put all the pieces together. And this whole structure, this is really pretty. This, we sell side curve here into buy side curve. We've got accumulation, manipulation, and we're looking for expansion into Friday. All right, so we'll jump into our daily review. Let's turn our PO3 off.
What would invalidate the day for Friday continuation, GRC? Is that your question? If we trade below Thursday, low, so I would want to see Thursday's wick, that bottom with the tail. I would want to see the CE of that respected, right? If the CE of that wick is respected, then we should be trading higher. If we start to close below that, then I can start to see lower prices, and that would maybe lend a hand to invalidation. But if that CE is holding, and even better, if the top quarter, 25% of that wick is holding, then that indicates bullishness.
And this whole zone here, so this was our Q3 manipulation zone. This is our floor now.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot for that to get broken. And just such nice structure.
Yeah, it is actually so clean now.
I think you need pretty big Trump tweet for, and then to leave all those highs, it's just not normal. Pretty bullish today.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pop that back. So going into the start of the day, I'll just pop the replay tool on so we can go back to here. So starting the day, we had, so PDH, PDL we draw out. We had our, let me just put the quarters on as well so we can see. So previous day, we had New York AM Q3 manipulation here. And our main standard deviations for that swing into SD 4.5. And then this was our New York PM Q3 manipulation. And the standard deviations of that as well. And SD 4.5 here for the highs. So very nice respect of the SD levels here. 2.5 being hit. 1.5 went straight through. I think for this main manipulation, it was that 2.5. And then we've gone in to that reaccumulation into the Q3 manipulation for New York PM. I'm so excited this week, Jess. It's like we're getting back to proper price action. Like less BS,
Yeah.
So we've had, we've extended to our SD4 to start the day. We get our PDH is here. We come into Asia. We start off just with consolidation. And then Q3 in Asia, we get our manipulation swing. This then takes out previous day high. We have our BISI in here to watch. And then, so as soon as we'd had this swing and took out PDH, that's when Jess and I started posting charts in the chat and mentioning that we're looking for price to come back. When we're super bullish, we're looking for price to come back into that quarter of the daily range. So we've got our daily ranges here, OTEs down here, and EQ is here. And when super bullish, we come back to that 0.25. Something I've been trying to work on more because there's been quite a few trades that I've missed sometimes, like with these London low of the days, just down to that quarter of the daily range, and then price takes off and continues. So
I will say that 0.25 level though, it is better when PM session low is near it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas in this, did I have that on there? New York PM.
Yeah.
Oh, PM low was all the way down here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was still looking at it as a level, obviously, because of that. The 1 hour OB ends up being that high as well. It's the same level. So I was still looking at 25% as being low day, but that PM session low being all the way down there kind of was.
You got to sort of stay open for that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this candle here too, which that was getting mitigated here, which then sort of steps us up to this order block, which is what we'd been watching. So after this manipulation swing, we then put on our standard deviations, and then we have the down swing measurements for the day and where it could go. I just put that on the other levels as well. So SD 4.5 was coming down similar to that, but this order block here obviously got mitigated with that PMQ3 manipulation. So I didn't need to keep coming down. Let's get rid of that. Love that SD 2.5 level. All right, so also we had SMT with ES at the high here for Asia. So nice Asia short. Coming in and then just slowly grinds down. Q1 for London, we have consolidation, manipulation into Q2, which goes into that Asia manipulation zone. And then we could have done a deviation from here as well. Just into that SD1 1.5. Oops. And this is a swing here. So a fairly clean reversal here. So we come down, we have that bearish engulfing, takes the lows. We swept Asia. Have the Asia low. Swept Asia, we come back in, and then we get that close above.
Yeah, and of note here, we are tapping 25% of the daily previous day range, as well as the high of that 1 hour OB that lines up with that level. So we did sweep that, and then it is followed by a 5-minute CISD. So you have the alignment of the 5-minute chart from the 1 hour chart. So you have a 5-minute OB printing from a 1 hour OB, essentially.
And then
right here is, yeah.
There's a 1 hour BC in here as well, I think. For value, yeah.
Yes, I think so, you're right, yeah. Yeah, so at this point, this is when, again, we're at everything, right? We just took London low, or we just printed London low. We have the CISD, we're in Q3, you're at 25% of previous day's range, you're at an hourly PD array. This had all the signatures to be low of the day until until the sweep of London high.
Which was here. So we come up to SD1. This is where I had my longs on, so I got long in here. And then we push up. And this candle here, this is one of those swing failure patterns. So we sweep London high. We come back and we close back within the range. And then it pushes back down to here and continues. So this was, so as soon as we had this candle here on the 5-minute, that's when I put stop loss just into profit. So my trade for this looked like, I think I had it at CE of this BC.
Oh, nice. Very nice entry.
Yeah, I didn't get my 1.5, though. Didn't even get 1 TP. They could have at least done that for me.
At least you broke even, because again, you know, that rule of breaking even at 1.5, you would have taken a full loss had you followed that. But you know, at least with the sweep of London high, you opted to break even there.
Yeah. Yeah, did not like seeing that candle.
Yeah, on a 4-hour basis, right before that, or you know, right at the close of the 6 a.m., we didn't close above the we didn't close above the previous 4-hour candle, I believe. So like on the 15-minute chart, on the 4-hour chart, this was all the sweep of the high.
Yeah.
So right there, I was like, oh, I don't think this.
So this whole 4-hour here is swept. So it's swept both sides then of the 4-hour.
Yeah.
So sweep there, and then so then we're coming in to manipulate for New York AM, and we're manipulating underneath True Day Open, which is still good for bullish price action. We want to see the manipulation below TDO and below TMSO, the Q2 opens. which had, so London TMSO quarter 2 open was here. So that was giving extra confidence for that as well. So we were below TDO, below TMSO at the 0.25. Would have been a nice London low of the day into continuation. But we just got to work with what the market's doing and how it's playing out. Be like water, as LMT would say. So New York quarter 1, we open, sweep the high, come down, and then, so this is the news that we were getting. 9:30 and 9:45. And then the next H4, so we get our H4 sweep. We come down to SD 2.5 from the Asia manipulation swing. Coming back to our order block here, which was unmitigated. We also had our fixed range volume profile pop down here. Lots of confluence at this level. And then at 10:15 here, we come back. We close above the manipulation candle here. And this is where I took a long position. With a stop below the low. And had TP at Asia high. And then we have our SD levels up high here as well. If we're going to get that expansion. Originally I was looking at SD 1.5, but then I went to called it at night at 11 o'clock and just moved my TP point to here and stop loss into profit. Just survived that midday swing. So on a normal expansion day, we'll see these moves. Normally in the AM will be quite strong. And if it's part of the expansion of the week, we will see that just continue up. Reaccumulation into SD 1.5 and up to SD 2.5. Which we'll go over in a sec with our, I'll draw out a PO3 example shortly. So AM, and this is quite similar to those 1 hour lows that we're looking at. So we have our BISI in here. Oops. For continuation, we come up. Nice low formation here as well. Inverted SIBI. And this was a flip of that London quarter 3 manipulation zone. And we can see 50% of that, of this swing here, being respected.
Yeah, it shows the importance of keeping the most recent zones on your chart. So you kind of, again, just see that narrative playing out. Because it consolidates on that zone pretty much all day. And then we finally get the flip and stay above EQ and just stay above it altogether.
We have SBS, 1, 2, 3. We sweep 2. London lows also being respected. 4, 5. And it comes back for 6. Did anyone get longs down here? Chat's gone quiet today.
Did not. Yeah, everyone's tired today. The market must have grinded them down.
Did we sweep in here? Not quite.
It's actually, man, all these sweeps of the highs are just, wow.
It's building so much liquidity. There's a wall there, and when that goes, that's normally what we'll see those big moves.
Yeah, it'll be LR tomorrow. And this is the thing, guys, is actually learned this a long time ago from one of the first people I used to backtest with quite often, is that if the market has not expanded all week, which is essentially what we've had consolidation all week pretty much with the exception of the expansion on Wednesday, but even still we're kind of that was inside of a range, right? So we're still within the weekly range that was created between Monday and Tuesday. So if the market has not expanded all week, it will expand on Friday. So I'm anticipating tomorrow is going to be much cleaner than the rest of the week was.
And we get that break of the high, and then we can watch the order blocks that had taken the high for the flip. If we get out of replay, how are we actually going at the moment? Still going nicely. It's just building up.
No, this isn't an expansion week, Stefan. So, or we haven't had expansion yet. So this is not a classic bullish or bearish week that you would expect TGIF on. Yeah, TGIF is only on expansion weeks, or their highest probability is on expansion weeks. And there's several different profiles that meet the profile of like a classic expansion, which is like a Tuesday low or a Wednesday low. But a consolidated Thursday reversal is not a classic expansion week. But you would have a very clear like open high-low close.
So was our PM Q3 manipulation swing here too, which we can probably do a standard deviation from too. 2.5s.
Yeah, but again, I would expect tomorrow to be a really clean expansion. The only thing that could be that would make me wrong is that there's no red folder news tomorrow, right? So lack of volatility drivers.
There's no driver. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I think. But we are going into the end of the month next week, right? So it may hold back all the juice for next week. I'm not sure. But usually when the week does not expand, and I mean, I've seen this happen quite a bit where the entire week does not expand, Friday is bound to be just a really super clean day. And again, you have all these highs that...
So much. There's so much liquidity. It's just got to it's just got to power up. Give me a TP up here. Yeah. And then the bounce back. So if we're looking for TDOs around here, right? So say we do push up here into TDO, and then we get our manipulation back into London Q3 here. Expansion up. That'd make for a nice day. Get all the expansion in London, and then New York can just do this, Jess. I don't care. I can go to bed.
Yeah. Agreed. There is a 4-hour expansion that I'm following on a weekly basis. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Don't know. Yeah, so the next level that I was looking for was 4.5 standard deviations. And that level is 23,737. So the 3.5 level was the most recent expansion that I was looking into, and last week we actually closed right on that level. So I was hoping for 4.5 this week.
One here as well, with SD 2.5 around there, and then. Is that the one that you're watching there?
I think the one I'm watching, let me see, is a little bit further back. It's on May 23rd. There's a big body Sibby down and the big body
yeah.
Up. Yeah, right there. Yeah. And I think this one I'm watching because it was also a daily swing. I think it was simultaneously a 4-hour and a daily swing.
Nice. I think I've got that on the 1 hour my group. Yeah. I got that here as well. So that was our main manipulation. And then we've
Oh,
got
yeah.
4.5. Yeah. And it's lining up with all of these 4.5s.
Yes.
Yeah. 1.5. Very nice. All right, so let's go back to the 5 minute.
So 300-point Friday. Drop a 1 if you think it's possible.
Let's go.
300-point Friday. Yeah, I think it's possible. But yeah, 300 points, not bad. It's not asking for too much.
All right, guys. So power of 3, what we're looking for. So when the market is trending up, like this on a higher time frame, what we want to see on the lower time frame is during our Asia and London is we want moves like this, and then we come into New York AM. So we've got accumulation, then we get our manipulation into expansion. And we're looking for this each time as we then make the low on a higher time frame. And what that looks like during the day, so if we're looking at our sessions down here, we get our accumulation range through Asia and London. And normally we will see, this is why I like when we get those PDHs or an NYPM high sweep coming into Asia. So we do this, and then we break structure, and then we're just sort of accumulating in here. Sometimes we get a London Q3 sweep of Asia again. And then we come down into our New York Q3 manipulation. We get our break, and then expansion high. And we're looking for to then take out all these highs, become out draw on liquidity. And so at the start of those days, that's why I always look for that manipulation into Asia, because we can then do our standard deviation from here, and we're looking for the manipulation to come down to that SD4 4.5. Or if the Asia high gets taken, then we look for the London swing, and we do our standard deviations from there. Oops. And that helps us pinpoint the low into Q3, and we look for that break. Then we can catch it the other way on an ideal day. And we draw our zones on. So we're looking for shorts from this zone or from this zone. And then we're looking for longs from this zone. And all of this is a higher time frame swing. Retrace back to OTE, continue up. Yes, it's being recorded. So let's have a look at our examples. So this is building a really nice one today, and we can use our box here. So we had, this was our swing here, sweep of PDH here. So we grab this whole zone into London. We do our standard deviation pull from here, from the high. This one went into SD 2.5. So we want shorts from this zone, from the high. And then once we break here, we want longs from this zone. So we have our accumulation, manipulation into quarter three, and then we're looking for the expansion. Oops. Here. Okay, another one. So we have our accumulation through Asia and London. Manipulation into quarter three of New York. Expansion higher. We do our standard deviation from here. Sorry, we kept going up into London. So our standard deviation was here. This is one of the ones where we take out the Asia high. We do our standard deviation pull from the London manipulation. This was in quarter four for this day. We're looking for the reversals around SD4 4.5. Sweeps all these lows. We do our standard deviation pull back the other way. And we're looking for longs up to SD 4.5. Plus, you know, all our other highs. Got multiple equal highs here. Draw on our manipulation zone, and we want to get in here, which is also our 11 o'clock macro. Excuse me. Does that make sense, guys? Do you understand how we're working there?
Full deviations in both directions. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. These are the days I love, when I can get it SD 4.5, like full TPs both ways.
Sure, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. But that, I think this even says to me, though, that this is what a true consolidated week looks like, right? You are getting full deviations in either direction, and not any one side is only delivering the 1.5.
Yeah.
Or, you know, yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be here,
Yes.
down to SD1 1.5 for continuation and up, and not get that full manipulation there.
Interesting.
Accumulation, manipulation into PM here. Accumulation, manipulation into quarter three, straight up. SD 2.5.
Yeah, Stefan, 1.5 is where a manipulation is likely to occur. So when it goes to 1.5 and turns around, it's more than likely a continuation of the current trend or the current direction as opposed to a full-on reversal.
Accumulation, manipulation, expansion. Over and over again. So if you can start mapping that out with standard deviations, even go and backtest this, guys. Look for those quarter three manipulations in New York against trend. Put on your SD levels. Such a good backtesting thing to do.
Yeah, AMD is like, even if you just box it out, like that is such a good exercise for you. Like if you're not even at the point where you want to draw standard deviations or you feel confident about your deviations, just start boxing out your AMD. And that's actually one of the first exercises I did on my chart when I first started looking at live PA. If you just do that alone, you will start to identify your accumulation and manipulation. Once you have that, then you know, okay, now or soon should be the expansion, and this is when I want to trade, as opposed to trying to force yourself to trade via consolidation or the manipulation. And you can do it, right? You can absolutely trade it. I think every mod in King line proves it every day that you can trade it. But if you are novice and you find yourself being caught offside all the time, just start mapping out your AMD, wait for accumulation and manipulation to be clear. Once it's clear, trade the distribution. Easy.
If you're not
simple, not easy.
And if you're not sure how to draw the boxes on, or you're having trouble trying to place them, use the quarters. Go from like quarter 1 in Asia down to quarter 2 in New York. After quarter 2 in New York, we have our TMSO, our true market session open. We want to see manipulation below that. And even if you draw on TDO, we want to see manipulation below that when we're bullish.
Yeah.
And we see they're lining up fairly nicely there.
Yeah, and if you want to do this on like higher time frame, like the hourly, for example, the way that Adrian has taught you guys to do the 1 hour charts with the TDO and the daily separators, you just look for AMD at that midnight level, just like you just mentioned.
So we're looking for that manipulation quarter 3 and a quarter 4. So you can have your box down here and then expansion after. And that's like a nice systematic way based on time levels to draw them all in for your testing. Yeah, so we talk about this every week. Like the stuff that Jess and I talk about is so important and will help so many people.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many people in the daily premium chat that like have no direction and they're not here.
Every week,
they're
yeah.
They're not showing up to these, and this is every single week. And my Saturday group is no bigger than this at all. My Saturday groups are never bigger than this. So, you guys are missing out. For those of you watching the recording.
Where's Soy? Have we got Soy in here?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Literally every week.
You guys got any questions? Sorry, not Soy, I meant swag. Do we have swag in here? That's what I was looking for. So, yeah.
Yeah. If anyone has DM'd us and you guys are not here, shame.
Watch those recordings.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I'm so keen to see how this day plays out. Like this is bread and butter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So once we break this zone here, guys, this was our quarter 3 PM minute. And then we want that to hold, or CE of that to hold as well. So any manipulations down, keen for continuation.
Yeah, and again, look at the signature of orders accumulating inside of this potential order block, or this future order block.
It's going to be a, like when we do the fixed range volume profile for this range, all the volume's going to be here.
Where do you think the point of control will land?
We can do this whole range. Let's have a look.
TMSO. Good point.
This is where that accumulation is here. That's
Wow.
where all the buyers are coming in, guys.
Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. That's where, oh wow, what a good level.
Which makes sense too. If we're looking at this manipulation, So manipulation swing is here. So they're forcing sells to wipe out these lows. Price comes out. So the sell orders are in here for the manipulation, comes back and has to mitigate the orders, which then push it up. And that's why we get the extra volume. We've got that high volume node in here. So that's where the institutional orders were coming in. So we just need one of these players now to then send it up. And then they'll come back to mitigate this, hopefully, and we get another long in London from here. I got a small long on from this one, from the macro into 8 p.m.
Very nice.
At the moment.
Any questions, guys? Anything we can help you or assist you with? Anything about what we just discussed? Anything about the model that we're backtesting? Anything?
Thanks, Stefan. Just help me get to payout. Just keep watching these, Rinko. Watch Jess's back tests. Pay attention to our posts in the chat.
Yeah, just wait for an obvious Q3. Like, so obvious, so familiar, and take that. Everything else you don't want to participate in.
All we want is these key swings. We just want to participate up here and down here. We want the extremes. Don't want the in-between.
Yeah, that's the candle that he's using for the manipulation, the Tuesday low. The big 1 hour candle that created the Tuesday low, that would be the candle for this one.
On the 1 hour chart, is that what he means? If we go back to here.
V Simon, yes, the 5 minute Q3 is different than the 1 minute Q3. The indicator that we use, if you have your indicator link on hand, is he gone? He's gone. Okay, never mind. Let me hook you up with Josh Hughes. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you just have to set the Josh U one to day, D-A-Y-E, in the settings. Yeah, guys, quarter three is so good, especially in New York. New York quarter three. New York quarter three.
It's a free indicator.
New York quarter
You just set it
three.
today. Yeah, sorry, my bad. But the 1 minute Q3 is, so in the 5 minute Q3, every 90 minutes is 1 quarter, as opposed in the 1 minute Q3, every 90 minutes is a full cycle. So each quarter is 22.5 minutes. Those the microcycles.
Yes, everyone that goes into the chat and asks me why my quarter's different to their quarters, it's because I use 90-minute quarters.
Yeah, and life is, life is great this way.
Yeah. I love the 5 minute though. It's just like there's no rush. You step back, relax.
Yeah, you have like 15 minutes until anything happens.
Yeah. Like even here, price is coming down here. People trying to work out what to do here, and I can like just keep waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for we're coming into the 10 o'clock macro. 10 o'clock's opened. We've gone low. I just need to wait for a bullish engulfing.
Yeah, and look at it this way.
Into the macro.
Imagine being paid to wait.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't taken multiple losses in lower time frame charts trying to work out what's going on here.
Oh wow, soy. I actually didn't know that. That's amazing.
Well done, Soy.
I did not realize that. No wonder.
Oh, look, there
I
she
missed
goes,
both
guys.
times. Oh wow, there it goes. Friday expansion, here we go.
Market maker buyer model. Sell side curve, buy side curve. It's beautiful. What size monitor? I think this is 36 inch, this one. 36 curved. So much liquidity here, guys. So yeah, as we come into true day open, I think anything below is worth looking for longs, especially as we come into London. 2 o'clock, if we mark out that 2 o'clock H4 and watch that for our open low, wherever we are, open low, high close. Alerts are going off. Any other questions? I look forward to seeing you guys post PO3 charts in the chats from now on. Did I trade today? So my time is Friday at the moment. I traded New York AM from yesterday. I was in here. So after that 5-minute bearish engulfing, so this becomes our plus OB on the 5-minute. I put this in the chat as well with a list of confluence from there too, and then I longed to Asia high. Stop was below the low, which was about a 3-to-1.
Yeah, I stayed up to take a trade and I ended up having to go back to sleep. I was like, darn, I can't believe I stayed up all night to not take a trade. It was terrible.
That's all right. Like I had shorts from here trying to get that 1.5. So I took one.
Yeah.
I took one account off at 1 because we were coming into that 0.25 of the daily range, and that's where that POC was as well. One account off there,
Yeah.
and then I had like 3 other accounts still on. I put stop loss above here, above this high, because I wanted that H4 to continue. So open high, low close for the H4. So I'm like, all right, stops going above there. Yeah. Whereas that zone still held for that whole period of time. So I could have got it to...
Oh, man.
I didn't have any... Like, none of the accounts were going for 3.5 or 4.5. They're all going 1.5 and 2.5 for my profits. Yeah. So I only got one account out at SD1 and then the rest hit stop loss in profit here. And then, yeah, I had just 2 accounts from here. And then stop loss was to break even after. I went to bed, it would have been around, yeah, around here somewhere. I think when we were coming back up to TDO. I got that on twice. So nice, guys. This is what we wanted. Friday expansion. Well, we might end the stream there. Look forward to watching this continue up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks, Jess. That's another good one. Make sure once we post the recording, make sure you share it around and try and help some people out. These PO3 trades are great. They happen so often, and highly recommend everyone backtest them. Looking, especially when we're doing those expansions on the higher time frame. You know, we're accumulating, and on the high time frame, it's just doing this. And we want to catch those manipulations.
Yeah, when you guys see people in the chat that need assistance, please refer them to these videos. That'll help. Alright guys, thank you so much. I'm out.
Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.